everybody. Welcome back to Wide Flank, and welcome to another episode of New Cool, the Wide Flank show, where Sean and Alon. I'm Sean. Alon. What?
I'm Alon.
That's Alon. So Sean and Alon, who are the two of us that you just heard from, we bring each other a play adjacent topic that's cool to one of us and new to the other, or new to one of us and cool to the other, or new and cool to both of us. So come on. So we're going to get through some admin stuff first. Come on down to the Wide Flank Discord, where you can talk with other people who listen to the podcast, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's a roaring community. There's Alon, tell us about the Discord a little bit.
Oh man, what's been going on there lately? You can vote on the next Game Club game, which has already been decided is Wave Race 64. You can talk about horror movies in the Resident Evil channel.
Yeah, that one's going off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, you can talk about like some sort of platforming thing that I haven't caught up with in general.
I didn't read that.
You can talk about so much in so many channels, and it's so cool.
It's a Discord. Sign on up to the sign on up for the Wide Flank Patreon, and genuinely, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. It helps us a lot. And tell a friend, right?
Friends.
None of us would be here without each other, especially at times like these. Am I right, Alon?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So what's up? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, should I just say it? Well, no, go for it.
No, I was just going to say we got topics, and I'm excited to hear what yours is, and I think you're scared to hear what mine is.
Yeah, no, off mic, Alon was talking a lot of guff, a lot of disturbing information, like because we don't tell each other what our topic is.
We go in blind to these. Yeah.
So, but Alon just kept alluding to a deep fear of what he might say. It's going to be provocative. It's going to be difficult, it seems. But there's only one way to find out, right?
Yes. Good segue. So
thank you. What's your topic?
Here's my topic. I'll start with the story of why it's my topic. I think is better than just saying it straight up. I was playing Rocket League recently with a friend of the pod, Andy. Shout out to Andy. We were balling out there. We were making some sick plays, passing plays, which is the best. And I noticed, I have it like clipped actually, I think somewhere. My sickest moment of the night, my tongue was just hanging out. And I was making a joke. I was like, holy shit, dude, my fucking tongue was hanging out. And like, oh, that was fucking crazy. Later in the night, Andy had some sick play. He like took off from really far away, flew all the way to the opponent's goal, scored a sick aerial. And I was like, dude, that was like fucking Michael Jordan from dunking from the free throw line with his tongue hanging out. And it got me thinking, what's up with having our tongues dangling out during these moments? And that's my topic.
Your topic is tongues hanging out. Tongues dangling? And Alon off mic, he was saying to me, oh, fuck, I can't find any research on my topic. It's all behind science paywalls.
Now you get why.
What would the research even be? What were you searching for to try to research tongue psychology?
Well, there's so much like quack pseudoscience on the internet now. That's, like every website is just like sciencecool.com. And it's like, there's no bibliography or reference. I'm like, this is probably all bullshit. I don't know what to believe. Yeah. Same with TikTok, same with YouTube. It's just like someone with a British accent telling you things that may or may not be true. Mm-hmm. So the only actual, stuff where I was like, oh, this is like good hard data is like medical and journals and like science papers that are, experiments and conclusions and all this stuff, but they're all behind like PDF paywalls. That's why I couldn't find stuff.
Well, because it's probably about like human physiology or something.
Yeah,
it's like gut reactions to things, right?
Well, yeah, because I mean that's kind of like, so getting into it a little bit. there's all these studies about, what's the link between sort of like movements with your hands and your having your tongue out, or tongue protrusions is like the scientific term for it. So they'll do experiments with like 4-year-olds and give them like little games to play with their hands and be like, oh, like in, these kind of movements, the tongue is always out, and these ones it's less out. And there's all these studies about like chewing gum improving your performance in visual and audio memory tasks, and like having, and basically the what I found that is, it seems like the most likely actual conclusion to all of these studies, as we know right now. It's kind of tricky with like, brain stuff, but tongue is this huge muscle. It's subconsciously always moving. Whenever you're even like thinking of a word, your tongue is sort of forming the word. All right, put your tongue away. Whenever you're thinking about a word, your tongue is like, you
got me thinking about my word. You got me thinking about my tongue, though.
I know everyone listening right now is thinking, get it out of here.
Everyone listening, just stick out your tongue and move it around a bit. Just have fun with it. Play with it.
It's always flexing. It's always tasting. It's always... Sean's laughing at the flexing tongue. It's helping you swallow. It's basically a stream of data to your brain.
I don't know about this.
I know. It's fucked up.
This is gross.
It's fucked up. But
wait, a stream of data to your brain, though. Please.
Yes. Because there's so much information that is being relayed basically at all times from your tongue. And so apparently sticking your tongue out, or for some people chewing gum, or for some people biting their tongue in tense moments, or like, high concentration focused moments, apparently may leave more brain power available for the concentrating and the focusing.
Oh.
And that's why people do it. And there's this like ancient link between, forming words and early, Homo sapien communication and the tongue. And so like sticking it out or biting it or whatever, maybe like lets your brain focus on more shit. I told you it's bad. It's weird.
Bad? What do you mean bad? This is
I
good.
don't know. Is there anything there? Get your tongue out of here. We're going to get... This episode's going on
demonetized. Whoa, cut that. But I mean, or no, are we allowed to say that on the show?
What
you just said.
Pornhub?
You can't say Pornhub on a podcast.
Why not?
Yo, that's adult.
I wonder if we have any listeners who are neurologists who can follow up on all
any
this.
Neurologists write in. I mean, right away, I'm ready to affirm what you're saying with anecdotal evidence, like, and not to be dark about it, but there's been moments when I've been having a hard time, and I have found myself subconsciously like not biting my tongue hard, but like
poking it out or something,
like just holding on for dear life, teeth to tongue.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would love to. There's no way to like sort of A/B this because there's too many variables, but I would love to like actively just dangle my tongue next time I'm playing a online competitive game or something.
Let's do
and just
it right
see,
now.
like,
sorry.
am I gonna play better? Am I more like locked in or something?
Sure. Like, is it like can one learn to control the tongue? Can one?
Yeah. Like, can you actually improve performance in whether studying for a test or playing a game or something by just like having your tongue out? All right. Enough, dude.
I'm just testing. This is mostly for the video for the viewers, but
too much tongue.
I'm just holding.
It's my fault.
Alon's talking all about tongue and then getting mad at me that I want to do tongue. You're the one that brought tongue. You ever? No, this is gonna go way off track. This is gonna be a way off track. It don't matter. Point is like I'm experimenting with, and I'm letting my tongue hang out of my mouth, and it's a feeling of like. It's taking a certain amount of brain energy just to let it hang. I wonder if there's something about like the subconscious tongue work.
It's hard to actually relax it, is what I've found in my little bit of research. When, like you said, like even sticking it out is like active, like you have to think about it, you have to do it, and it doesn't seem to work. But I definitely do it when I'm concentrating really hard. I know that like my brothers do it from, like growing up with them. I remember that, we're playing basketball or something and they're like sticking their tongue out while they're shooting. And apparently, get your tongue out of here, man. I don't want to see that. Apparently, like threading a needle is a common one for like your tongue poking out, like that little sort of like focusing really hard on a very like
literal, yeah,
fine movement, like stuff like that. People tend to poke their tongue out.
I thought you were describing. I thought you were describing a mechanism, like a phrase used in the tongue community.
Oh no,
threading the needle.
The tonguologist.
It's a certain way to move your tongue, but no.
I forgot to at the beginning also say that I've been watching League of Legends Worlds, the like big tournament, and in these like intense team fights, a lot of times you see these pros like kind of poke their tongue out.
Well, I wanted to ask at the head of this, like, how did you, were you and your friend like looking at each other over video chat while you were playing, or like you just clocked my tongue's hanging out?
Well, because like it was a big moment. I don't know if you're familiar with Rocket League, like pass, aerial. Then I scored. Or Andy scored, I don't remember. And then the moment ends, right? So I'm no longer tense. And I just realized, like, oh, my tongue's out. I got to put this thing away.
Someone's going to see this.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Yeah, it's a shame. A muscle of shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just sort of like naturally came upon you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought this is kind of related to esports and games. Literally how I thought of the topic. Yeah. And I just said, you know what? I'm going full on tongue here. I don't want to know that you're even having your hand over your mouth, knowing your tongue's out. I don't like it. Put that thing away. That's for after the podcast.
I'm just trying to feel my tongue. I'm just trying to see, like,
not for now.
Try it because it's not for well. Okay.
You got any questions for me? That's my topic
for you about the tongue.
That's my topic. Well, that's all I got.
It's not purely about the tongue. We're not talking about taste. We're not talking about.
No, but that is one of the many data streams that's always, sending to your brain.
You ever realize that your tongue, like when I was a kid, I was told that your tongue goes down into your throat, and I got pretty obsessed with like grabbing.
It's fucked up
at my throat and being that's my tongue too.
It's such a fucking weird muscle.
You ever fold your tongue back up and over itself so you can see the veins on the bottom of your tongue?
I do that sometimes. Yeah.
I want to do it right now, but I feel like I'll get in trouble.
Don't do that.
Showing tongue veins, saying Pornhub.
Don't do any of that.
What if this episode is like, what if this is the one that like gets us, like pimple popper? You ever know about pimple popper?
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. Do you like that?
This could be no. God, no. No, there's one actual like media oriented thing. I mean, pimple popper is a media thing, but I also want to reference there's a famous, I don't know if it's famous. It's famous to me. We'll link it in the show notes. It's a Peanuts comic strip where Linus and Lucy, who are brother and sister, are just talking to each other. And Linus is like, darn it, Lucy, I've become aware of my tongue. Like you just start thinking about your tongue, and then all you can think about is your tongue sitting on your teeth. And like Charles Schultz goes into great detail to describe it. And then the final panel is Lucy being like, darn it all to hell. Now I'm thinking about my tongue. And I've always clocked that as like, now I'm thinking about my tongue.
Yeah, it's sort of like thinking about breathing or something like that.
Yeah, it's a sub. Yeah. Well, I think it was interesting what you were saying about it, that it's like it is this like subconscious muscle. Like it's the notion of tongue as data stream. Like
it's fucking
hypersensitive data stream. Like
thousands of tastes. Like having to like. It sounds gross to talk about like swallow whatever, but like you have so much saliva, you have to not bite it all the time. Like it's something's going on with your tongue at all times.
This is a fucked up topic.
It's fucked up. I know like American soldiers of war are like given gum because they think it helps focus and concentration. A lot of like athletes or even like coaches are like aggro gum chewing on the sideline at all times. If there's something to do with like occupying that weird muscle so you can like focus on something else. That's my TED Talk.
And it's not just like an ADHD thing or something. This is like a human, because like that also sounds to me like some amount of ADHD trickery of like when you experience ADHD, there's like if you're able to distract yourself with like one thing, you're like able to focus a little better sometimes for some people.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't have any research. You're the expert here.
I'm no expert, but I did as much research as I could. But
we've both got tongues.
If you're playing a competitive game and no one's around you and you're not streaming, your camera's not on, give it a little tongue. See what happens. No, your camera's on, Sean.
What?
Put that thing away.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my topic.
We got another 2 minutes on the clock for you. Tell me more about your tongue.
No. That's it.
Tell me a memory about your tongue.
I'm not going to force.
Tell me about your tongue.
Airtime.
Tell me about
I want to go on. I want to hear about your topic. Sean, what's your topic? What's up? Put it away, dude. Enough.
Dead air of just.
Please.
Okay. So my topic this week, it's it's Survivor, baby. We've made it.
I've never watched it.
What do you? So okay. So this is. I like to do this with you sometimes. What is your understanding of Survivor? What's your impression?
You're on an island and vote people off the island. That's literally all I know. Something like that.
You get it, man.
And I assume because of the name Survivor, the winner is the last person standing on the island or something.
It's the mechanism of the show is that it's essentially a game show. Like, all right.
Yeah, it's a game show.
I'm going to lead with my conclusion, which is a conclusion I've loved telling people over the years, and no one ever cares. Nobody cares. But that's why this is our podcast.
I'm listening.
I mean, look, let's give some background information first. Survivor is a television series that premiered in 2000. It's for 90s kids. It's an iconic thing.
Yeah.
It was created by a person named Charlie Parsons, who initially started developing it in the late 1980s. And he developed it for like this random, you know how there's all these weird British shows that are like semi funded by the government, and it's I don't even know if it is.
It's like a BBC show or something.
It's not
like
a BBC show. It's on something called Network 7.
Okay.
Network 7
sounds made up.
Network, yeah. Who knows what Network 7 is? But the point is that he developed it. Like this show, it took like 12 years essentially for the show to like go from this person's mind to American audiences, and it's still running to this very day. We're in season 47, baby.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And this year I've been watching the latest season of Survivor, and it's how do I put it's both different and the same. That's not really the point though. That's a side story. There's a side story to all of this, but I just want to give some background information on the show, which is that. This is a quote from Charlie Parsons, the executive producer. He said, "We had the idea of sending 4 people to a remote place with very little and seeing how they got on. We sent a soap opera star, a famous tennis player, a stockbroker, and an ex-criminal. They went to an island off Sri Lanka and we filmed it over a few weeks. There were no games or tasks, just a crew following them."
What?
So for starters, maybe this would have been good preparation for the episode, but I've not seen that footage. It's out there because it
sounds incredible. Yeah.
It was produced as a television program, but then it was Go for it.
No, I was just going to say it's got to be one of the longest running TV shows of all time, right? I mean, that's crazy.
24 years at least.
That's really fucking long.
Yeah, and it's like 24 years of broadcast of Survivor, and then 1988 is when this other show aired.
Insane. Yeah.
So Charlie like would go on to like continue developing it, and like he was like obsessed with it, and, like worked on it for like 8 years, and like built it much into like the Survivor that we know and love today. Like that's
right.
what he was ultimately pitching to people, and he was able to get it produced in Sweden. And here's another quote from him. Survivor went on the air in 1977, but in Sweden, they didn't want to use our name, which was Survive, but Expedition Robinson because of the Daniel.
Okay.
Do you know what Robinson Crusoe is?
Some sort of explorer or some shit.
It's a novel about a man who's stranded on a desert island.
Okay.
So
sorry, I don't know anything.
No, that's why it's new cool, baby. It's better if you don't.
True.
So Robinson Crusoe is this book that I'm not gonna die. My topic is not Robinson Crusoe, but it's a book about. I already said it. It's like about a guy who gets stranded on an island. So initially, like a Swedish production company put it together and released a show. And then he was trying to sell it to US networks, but nobody would bite. It was like everybody was doubting it and like questioning it and all these things. And Cinderella story. I learned that from you.
Cinderella story.
Oh
yeah.
Which is
on a past new cool, right?
That's continuity. Folks.
That's fucking sick. Yeah.
So this show, it was conceived of. So, okay, to describe what the show is to somebody that literally doesn't know what it is, it's a show that brings a bunch of Americans and divides them initially on 2 teams. Nowadays, it's 3 teams, and it strands them on an island more or less. And they're filmed by a camera crew, but the camera crew like minimally interacts with the players. Like it's like an island wide game, essentially.
Are there, in my head, there's aspects of reality TV to this also, but now that I think about it, all game shows are kind of reality TV.
Well, for sure.
Like it may be in an unreal place, like some manicured island or a LA studio.
Yeah.
But it's reality TV in the sense that like they're just being asked a question and have to answer the question. So
they're like presenting. So that sort of speaks to like what my big Survivor theory, that it's the theory I've had about Survivor for many years.
I want to know the theory.
Yo, it's that Survivor is the ultimate television program. It's the perfect iteration of TV because it reconciles both reality and like, to go into why I think reality TV and game shows are the real TV would derail us a little bit too much. That would get a little far away from Survivor and this. But the point is that Survivor, by my estimation, it's a show that like takes the strengths of television and like creates endlessly intersecting relationships between like personality, and it's not like I think design is like what makes TV good. It's that like a game show I think of as it's this mechanism of the television screen in a way. It's like you can kind of play along with the people. Like think of The Price is Right. It's like you're there, right? Like that's the show where you have to guess how much something costs. That's like
great game,
very bluntly interactive because you can just go, I think it's $200. The end.
Wow, game shows are just Twitch now.
Go on, expand on that. Speak on.
I mean, it's the same interaction, right? I've always said Hearthstone is like one of the best Twitch watching experiences. It also happened to like explode in popularity right when Twitch was a new thing. Sure. But a big part of it is that you have full information as the same information as the player, and then you as the viewer are kind of like, oh, I would play this here or attack this or whatever the action might be. So you get to watch them, think it through and make their decision in the same way that like, Jeopardy, you're just sitting at home answering the questions and then the other person gets to answer the question.
The feeling, how smart you feel when you just calmly say like, this is the answer. And then the game goes through all the motions of like, who is Genghis Khan? And then your parents look at you and they're like, how did you know that? And you're like, because it's Genghis Khan, dude.
Because I've seen this episode already.
No, but truly, it's like, I do think of, because like television, no, I'm just going to go for it. Is that like television No, I don't want to go for it. I don't want to
Don't
talk
go for
about
it.
like
You gotta pump the
the
brakes. You
state
gotta pump
of
the
prestige
brakes.
television, which I
Don't do that.
yeah, we're not. It's
I
not,
still want to know why Survivor is the premier television show, according to Sean.
because
Why it's the best game show. All of this stuff.
it
That's interesting.
appeals to so many like base human things and like makes like a pastiche of human things, but then presents it in this way that like, oh, I don't even have the words for it. It's like it just presents this thing that is like fundamentally interactive in a way while also showing like deep emotion. Like I tend to think of television shows as like drama or comedy or like as these like narratives. Like but maybe this is true. I'm second guessing everything. I don't watch many television shows, period. Like, is The Bachelor also exactly what we're talking about? Like, does The Bachelor successfully reconcile like games and people, like, and just presents them to people in a way? Like,
I mean, basically, The Bachelor is, they pretend that it's not a game. That's like this huge, it's an agreement between the producers and the viewers. This isn't a game. This is about love. But it's 100% a game, and you have good players and bad players. You have skillful players and not skillful players of the game, and you just watch it unfold in real time. I mean, it's sports too, right? Like sports are reality TV.
I would also say that sports are the ultimate TV show too.
Sports are reality TV. It just has like weirdly specific rules.
Yeah,
you know?
And you kind of got to do your own work to get the like confessional booth. You got to tune in to like media days.
No confessional booth,
or,
right?
Like,
I guess like the big difference is like your viewing experience with like something like The Bachelor is largely, if not entirely, dictated by the producers and the editors.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But like if they want so and so to be perceived as the villain of the season, they will just cut it thing and Frankenstein all their words together to make them seem like an asshole.
There's a phrase
who, like screwed someone over or whatever.
There's a phrase for it, the villain edit, right?
The villain edit, or the fool's edit, or the ring bearer edit. There's so much action.
Ring bearer edit, the archer edit,
exactly.
The rogue edit.
That's a difference between, I guess, sports and television reality. Is that like sports is not cut up in a way. You're just watching what happens, and then you kind of like construct your own, stories and dramas within it. But these are like kind of, concocted for for the viewer.
There's maybe something to like the objectivity of sports that makes it easier to concoct your own dramas, or like, do you think there's something there?
I don't really know. I haven't thought it out really, but there's something to, as much as like people pretend they don't want to get involved in the drama, I just want to watch the fucking game. It enhances everything if there are some sort of like rivalries or dramas or within what's going to happen. It leads to sort of, the anticipation and excitement of the event that's going to unfold.
Well, I think that's like part of like my conclusion about Survivor is that like Survivor makes like super, super accessible the component pieces of like watching people playing a game. And I think so just, I don't know if I've fully described what Survivor is to the audience, but like either I
still don't know what it is.
It's a game. It's a game.
You're on an island and you have to, what do you have to do? You have to find food.
There's like a million specific rules, but the short version, you have to find food. Apparently they used to give people a bag of rice. Now they don't give people a bag of rice.
Wow.
They used to give people a luxury item. Now they don't give people a luxury item.
Wow.
So that's a whole other topic of note about Survivor is like that it's a game design that's been iterated over the past 24 years. And
which is fucking crazy, and I love that.
And to that point, like I think there's a little bit of a running narrative about Survivor. And it's a game that ultimately comes down to like because you even knew it, that like you vote people off the island.
Yeah, that's
Right.
like the thing that people know about the show is like you've been voted off the island.
And by extension of that, there's like these social, and again, this is the reconciliation of the social and the game design. Like people, there's this notion of the alliance that is like what the game is about. Essentially, it's about like people just talking to each other and being like, all right, so we're gonna vote for Toby, right? Toby totally botched. We need to keep Ronald because he's got good muscles, but Toby's a total drag.
So there's like a little bit of like deception and like prisoner's dilemma going on of like, oh, do I just vote with the group or am I the sucker and they're going to vote for me? And
so it's a television program that allows you to like witness a certain, like keeping in mind the like the various edits that we talked about, like it lets you watch people lie to each other, which is one thing, but it's like all in a container. But at the same time, when people get voted off, sometimes it's like such genuine hurt. People get like really upset. And it's apparently when they were initially producing the show, they had to like bring a psychologist. The producers were like, we need to have a psychologist on staff on the island to deal with like how people react to getting voted off.
That's wild. Yeah, because that's a pre-mental health kind of world, and even then they were like, "This is."
And to that point, I'm cooking now. I got a million things to say about Survivor. I was getting a little hung up that my research wasn't good enough. We've both got hang ups.
Your research is phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to celebrate Jeff Probst for a moment here. Jeff Probst is the host of Survivor, and the emotional.
I was about to Google that.
You were going to Google it.
I was about to Google who the hell is that.
He's the host of Survivor. The emotional intelligence that I see this man exhibit on a weekly basis is like astounding to me. Like he goes out of his way to like scaffold his questions and like check in with people. In like the first episode of this current season, someone literally like has a panic attack on screen. And like Jeff is just like, it's okay, man. Like I was getting emotional watching Jeff Probst, this fucking guy whose face is all Botoxed up, sadly enough, like comforting this person, being like, you're not out of the game, man. You're not out of the game. This is all part of the game, man. Like you're good. And it was like, so it's that, and it's like the game is this like serious psychological thing, and it's also a game that is very like it's not about love. But it is like a beloved game. I think players at this point playing the game, I'm less interested in describing the design of Survivor because it's like, it's not basic. It's very complicated. It's complicated as a production, but the short version is that like you're on an island with a bunch of strangers. Everybody's from America for some reason. And you watch these people like get to know each other, and then every episode also has these like far more game showy type challenges that are like borderline like boot camp style, like you have to crawl through the mud. But then often enough in these challenges, anytime a physical challenge happens on the show, I tune out because I can like barely follow the rules of it. But it's like it's these multi-stage collaborative challenges. I haven't even talked about the merge. Post-merge,
don't know what that
challenge design becomes different, but it merges because it starts with multiple tribes and then they come together, and then it's one tribe, and then it's every person for them. Tribes. Yeah, they use the word tribe. They use vaguely. I meant to look into the music of the show. We'll play a music cue from the show right now, and you tell me, listener, whether you think this is problematic. It seems like it must be, but the point is, what's my point? I think it's
wrap it up with the grand finale of Survivor. I'm curious to watch it now. I don't think it's for me, but it
might be cool to just like watch any season of it from the beginning. Like I can't recommend any specific season. Like
why not?
Just because I don't know.
Just give me a season.
Watch the current one, dude. Current one's sick, but it's a different.
Fine.
Current show is a different game than what I watched when I was younger.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and it's not just designed differently, which it is. It's also played differently. The players know what Survivor is.
Yeah, they know what they're doing
so deeply, and like
it's a meta game.
Yes, and the design has met like those meta needs like halfway, such that like the game has introduced all these different components that like facilitate more complex social interactions of like manipulation. Like
they're like compounding on top of each other.
And it's like it is genuinely remarkable to see like how tightly compact the design of the show has gotten.
Well, dude, if we can somehow relay a message to the competitors on the island right now, we could say next time there's like a challenge or you have to do something skillfully or something like that, dangle your little tongue out, my man. It's going to help you with those fine motor movements, that concentration, that focus that you need to win and survive.
If we had the time and budget, I would love to put together a compilation of people mid-Survivor challenge with their tongues hanging out. Because it happens, I'm pretty sure it happens constantly. What, you think you could search right now? Survivor tongue compilation?
It might exist, but it's a dangerous thing to search. But in my little bits of research here and there, I did find like random like 2006 YouTube video upload of like a 13-second clip of an anime where the main character like sticks his tongue out right before battle or something. Yeah. I'm like, wow, it's just kind of always existed and people just know it's a thing.
Base.
But Survivor.
Base human
I'm
thing.
sure there
Yeah,
is.
let's wrap it up. I just want to say a few more things about it. Is that chill?
Yeah, I don't know what we're at time.
Yeah, no, we're way over. But the point is, let's cut out any reference to the
I see some tongues out on YouTube.
Yeah, Survivor tongue compilation.
Abby Maria Gomez sticking her tongue out.
That's probably, we don't need to get into that part of parasocial. It's delete. I think it's the ultimate TV show in how it threads personality and competition. It's a media representation of a super base human experience, which is like, what I'm not going to zoom in on that. It's continuously reconciling the social elements and the game design. It's super designed. I just want to say on this season, because people know the game so well, they literally had an esports commentator on the season. And I'm going to tell you an anecdote about the show that kind of communicates what I'm thinking about the show, which is that you see this person's commitment to gaming bump up against the reality that like socializing is core to this game design. Cause like he has interactions with another player where the other player has to be like, are you kidding me right now, bro? Like, cause he's just like following him around the island and he's just like, I'm playing the game. I'm just playing the game. And the dude's like, oh my God. I just need a minute, dog. Like, just please, like, give me some bread. Like, give me some, because these people are alone on an island with each other for like, it used to be
a month or
it used to be 39 days.
Oh my
It's 26
God.
now, but it's like
still long as hell.
One person's there for 39 days. It's long. It's long as hell. And I'll just say that it's a game that's designed by its players. Like this isn't the ending of all of this, but because we sort of wrapped it up already, but I just want to, fuck, I fucked it up.
Don't go too deep. Cut
it. So thanks for, do I do the outro too? Of New Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So that's another New Cool for you. Tongues and Survivor. Makes you think.
Never thought you'd say those two words. Hell yeah.
Welcome to the new era of what? That's another thing of
I have a fucking weird list of potential topics, and I chose the weirdest one of them all, I think.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It can only get easier to digest from here.
I think so. Digestion.
The tongue is but the start of digestion. And you're always hungry on Survivor.
True.
So next week, what's our next episode? Is our next episode the Dev Talk with Merritt K?
Yeah, that should be the next one that people hear.
Yes.
And I was like doing weird math in my head because this episode is coming out next week, and then Merritt. Yeah, it should be the Merritt ad.
Yeah. So
about her game,
Fledgling Manor.
Fledgling Manor.
Yes, which I'm proud to say is itself a game about a reality show. So,
oh yeah,
bada bing, smooth.
A supernatural horror visual novel where vampires compete to save their eternal unlives in a high stakes reality show.
There you go. That's why.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to this RSS feed. Thanks for listening. Alon, any last words? We're done.